Consciousness is one of the most fascinating mysteries of human existence. Every person experiences life through different levels of awareness, yet most people spend their entire lives without understanding how their consciousness shapes their reality. If you're watching this, chances are you've begun questioning deeper things about life. Why do people think differently? Why do some individuals remain trapped in negativity while others seem calm, wise, and fulfilled? The answer often lies in their level of consciousness. Today, we're going to explore every major level of consciousness and understand how each stage influences the way we think, feel, and interact with the world around us. At the lowest levels of consciousness, people are primarily driven by survival. Their thoughts revolve around fear, safety, security, and basic needs. Life feels unpredictable and threatening. Decisions are often made from a place of anxiety rather than wisdom. At this level, individuals focus on avoiding pain more than creating meaning. Many people remain stuck here because fear dominates their perception of reality. They constantly worry about what could go wrong and rarely take risks that could improve their lives. The next level is desire. Here, consciousness begins expanding beyond simple survival. People start seeking pleasure, achievement, money, status, and recognition. They want success and validation from others. While this level often leads to ambition and progress, it can also create endless dissatisfaction. No matter how much someone achieves, it never feels like enough because their happiness depends on external rewards. Many modern societies encourage people to operate at this level, constantly chasing more wealth, more attention, and more approval. As consciousness continues to evolve, people enter the level of discipline and responsibility. They begin understanding that long-term success requires sacrifice and self-control. Instead of seeking instant gratification, they focus on building habits, developing skills, and taking ownership of their actions. This is where personal growth truly begins. People stop blaming circumstances and start accepting responsibility for their future. They realize that lasting change comes from changing themselves first. The next stage is reason and understanding. At this level, individuals become more curious about how the world works. They value knowledge, critical thinking, and truth. Rather than blindly accepting beliefs, they question assumptions and seek deeper understanding. Their decisions become guided by logic and wisdom rather than emotions alone. This stage often leads to significant personal transformation because people begin seeing reality more clearly. Beyond reason lies the level of compassion. Here, consciousness expands beyond personal interests. People start recognizing the interconnectedness of all human beings. They become more empathetic, understanding, and forgiving. Instead of viewing life as a competition, they begin viewing it as a shared experience. Compassion doesn't mean weakness. It means understanding that everyone is fighting battles you cannot see. At this stage, relationships become more meaningful because people stop focusing solely on themselves. As consciousness rises further, individuals enter the level of acceptance. This is where inner peace begins to emerge. They stop resisting reality and start working with it. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It means recognizing what can and cannot be controlled. Many forms of suffering come from fighting circumstances that cannot be changed. People at this level understand that peace comes not from controlling everything, but from responding wisely to whatever happens. The next level is love, not romantic love, but unconditional love. This is a profound state of consciousness where people genuinely wish well for others without expecting anything in return. Their actions are guided by kindness, generosity, and understanding. They no longer need constant validation because their sense of worth comes from within. This level creates a deep feeling of connection with life itself. Beyond love lies wisdom. At this stage, individuals see beyond appearances. They understand that success, failure, praise, and criticism are temporary experiences rather than permanent identities. They become less reactive and more observant. Wisdom allows people to remain calm in situations that would normally create stress or anger. They understand that every experience contains lessons and opportunities for growth. As consciousness expands even further, people enter the level of self-transcendence. Here, the ego begins losing its grip. Individuals stop defining themselves solely by their possessions, achievements, or social status. They realize they are part of something larger than themselves. Life becomes less about personal gain and more about contribution, purpose, and meaning. This level often produces profound feelings of gratitude and fulfillment. At the highest levels of consciousness, people experience a deep sense of unity with existence. The separation between self and world begins to fade. Fear diminishes because they understand that life is constantly changing and that resistance only creates suffering. They experience a profound inner peace that remains stable regardless of external circumstances. While few people remain at this level permanently, many spiritual teachers, philosophers, and enlightened individuals have described these experiences throughout history. The important thing to understand is that consciousness is not fixed. You are not permanently trapped at one level. Every day, through your thoughts, habits, choices, and experiences, your consciousness evolves. Some days you may operate from fear, other days from compassion. Growth is not a straight line. It's a lifelong journey of becoming more aware, more understanding, and more connected to reality. Most people spend their entire lives trying to change their circumstances without realizing that the greatest transformation happens when they change their level of consciousness. The way you see the world determines the way you experience the world. Two people can face the exact same situation and have completely different experiences because they perceive it through different levels of awareness. If you want to elevate your consciousness, start by observing your thoughts. Notice what motivates your actions. Are you acting from fear or love? From ego or wisdom? From insecurity or confidence? Awareness is always the first step toward transformation. The moment you become conscious of a pattern, you gain the power to change it. The journey through consciousness is ultimately a journey back to yourself. It is the process of shedding illusions, overcoming limitations, and discovering deeper truths about life and existence. Every challenge you face can either lower your consciousness through fear and resentment, or elevate it through understanding and growth. The choice is always yours. And perhaps that's the greatest lesson of all. Life is not simply about accumulating success, wealth, or recognition. It's about expanding your awareness, deepening your understanding, and becoming the highest version of yourself. Because when your consciousness changes, everything changes. The world looks different, people look different, and even your problems begin to lose their power over you. The greatest adventure you'll ever experience isn't traveling across the world, it's exploring the depths of your own consciousness and discovering who you truly are.